So one of the first things we're gonna do a quick, I'm just in Sculptress here, we do a quick speed sculpt on a few elements we need for the story. So we have the main character is Mush. He's a little myconoid mushroom guy. This is him without his cap over here. And let's see, still getting used to some of the shortcuts in PureRef. And he communes each day. So the one of the main characters in the cast along with him is actually the Great Mycelium, which is this vast network of the actual. It's almost like a godlike being to commune with each day. So we have his little mushroom meditation pad that he sits on, and the mycelium's underneath the ground, and it comes up through the surface. It also connects with most of the other myconoids in the realm, and in particular the queen character, which we'll talk about. So that I would just do a couple really quick speed sculpts on the mycelium itself, since it shows up so often, and with some stylized images. I just wanted to grab something here and sculptures just to kind of give you an idea how I like to work. And I think it's a good way to do. We're going to do some rapid prototyping today. So I'm going to zoom way back here, and I'm just going to try the ERT and the DFG and CVB button. So these are all shortcut keys in my other videos. If you haven't tried them, check them out. I'm going to deflate parts of this ball, and I'm just going to start pulling out like root systems for the mycelium, keeping it from the front viewport here is my main task. So if I do control and then mask out a little area, if I want to pull a root out and then control tap, then I can pull that root, and then make sure again from the front view or from the side that I'm kind of locking it so that it's going to show up, because this is going to be a side scroller. And so a lot of the stuff needs to show up really good from the front view. There we go. So I can control tap that reverses um, the mask. Control drag clears the mask. So there we go. So I can go back in here and mask off another area. Control tap and pull that up in the other area. Control drag, and then to the side over here. And yeah, I'm just going to continue this. Maybe use the flatten key. Nice big one. Maybe flatten the back side of it a little bit, so that way I'm kind of getting that almost like a little coin shape to pull for the mycelium shapes from. And like all the sculpting the videos I have, the tutorials are all using control, masking things off, reversing the mask, and then especially in Sculptress we have the luxury of having just those pull of those nice triangles just appear as I pull. So I'm going really using, I can only use 2 dimensions since it's locked on the screen, but I'll push it in a 3rd dimension. As I pull these out, they get a little more jagged. So maybe shift smooth a little bit, add some more geometry, and a little grab shake usually will add them. So as you're going, if you get these slivers, you always want to inflate back out again just a little bit, and then maybe hold shift and smooth. So inflating back out. There we go. If I think they really got out of hand, I'll inflate them way out again and smooth them. So I'm being a little bit more careful. And if I went too far, I think when I was talking there, I went too far. I'm just gonna see if I can undo a few times and get it back to where, yeah, there we go. So not quite all the way back, but back far enough. And then I can turn up the strength on the detail here just a little bit. There it goes. So now it's adding some more detail perhaps where it's needed. And I'm gonna fix any. So this is supposed to be a speed sculpt, right? So I'm already kind of got stuck on there a little bit. Go back down here, back to my grab brush and pull. And I'm just looking at some of these little root systems here. If I hold down the control key, the masking is going to go. So I got to go to the top view here and maybe mask a little area. You see it made a lot more detail that time. And as I'm rotating around, if I hit the shift key, it snaps. So that way, if I grab this, control tap to reverse it, and then I can pull. There we go. You pull. I can zoom in a little bit. So this is a good way to do tree branching as well. I went a little crazy. Shift smooth, make sure there isn't anything too jaggedy. I saw it get too crazy out there. There we go. That's not bad. Okay, and then control tap to reverse it again, make it a little bit bigger and pull some more. And if it's going a little too much detail, I just wanted to give it, it was getting jagged up there. And you know, it's a free, unsupported program, so it is what it is, right? So I don't really reduce selected. I could also do the reduce brush. I could reduce some of these triangles as I go here, control drag. I can, if I feel like it got out of hand already, I can go around here and I can just brush out some of the detail. But that's, you know, that's looking okay already so far. I'm happy with it. We'll go around here, pull this out. There we go. Back to the side over here. Control, tap, go to maybe the back view this time and pull some more. And just looking at some of these curves and undulations. Double checking my reference a little bit as I go. Never hurt nobody. Okay. Control drag, come into here. I can also use the grab brush to, remember if you hit the grab brush a second time, it's going to move the whole thing, uh, which may or may not be what you want. There we go. So I'm going to kind of push this in a bit like that. Same thing from the back side. There we go. Once again, some of these overlaps over here. And oops. Middle mouse drag, yes. There we go. Yeah, it's very hairy, right? Because it's underground. It's not like branches in a tree where it can. So I'm not going to try and get all those little tiny hairs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a couple of these and then replicate them and then have some really long skinny ones and some fatter ones like around the root area. So just kind of letting it zigzag back and forth a bit. Come back over here. Maybe do some at the top. Bracket key down, control, mask a little circle, control tap, reverse the tag. Hit G on the keyboard. There we go. And if I hit G again, you see it's going to move the whole. Oops. There we go. And try and get some elegance. I had some, you know, some really fat pieces on here in the original Pure Ref drawing. So I was just playing around with watercolor and ink, and you see they got really thick, like a tree root would be, and then kind of tapered down rather quickly as it went. So I might leave a couple of these and make this like the main thicker part of the mycelium, that's at least for this part of the story, the one that you see on camera. And then we might 3D print this out for some of the stop motion and miniature sets. So this will be a fun piece too. There we go. It's a little more three-dimensional. And then this tips, I'll just kind of smooth them out. And that's going to kind of taper it. It's a little sharp. I think that's what is happening at the end, a lot of these. And then back to my grab brush, zoom in, and oops. Again, I hit the grab brush a second time on accident. There we go. Smooth it out, smooth it out. There we go. Make sure there's nothing too crazy going on in there. And if I needed to, you can rotate in this application, although it's just janky as hell. There's a global rotate. There we go. So if I find I needed to get it going in other directions is really what I think is the best solution here. So go back to my regular draw brush or grab brush. Push some of these in and mask off a little region there. Control, oops, mask a little region, control tap, and then drag. There we go. And again, I like that fatter taper, that thinner, thicker to thin. And I can always go back in here with the inflate brush and I can kind of blow some of these up. If they start crumpling in on themselves, then you'll see when you inflate, it'll like the the triangles will kind of pass back through themselves, and that's where you know you kind of goofed up, went too fast maybe for the app to handle. Back to my regular draw brush. If I tap it, usually we'll add a little more triangles. That helps too. I think it needs it. In that case, I think it did. Come back here. And it's kind of a knuckle point or a bend point, as I like to say, when I'm doing trees. So control, mask that off, tap, and pull. There we go. So sometimes a little pull, like getting it started, giving it a chance to give the program enough time to catch up a little and actually make some of those triangles you're looking for it to make. There it goes. Whoop. Then see if it didn't have time to catch up there. I'm going to slow back down again. There we go. And then tap it and then let it. Cool. So if I think it's getting to its outer limits, I'll just stop. No sense pushing it. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that already. I think that's like a good, like this would be almost like the rhizomes of a bamboo tree. There's these like giant, thick, rooty things underground that the bamboo is just the branch, kind of like mushrooms are like that. They're just the fruit, right, of the mycelium. Okay, yeah, my headset just randomly shut off on me. I don't really know why it does that. There we go. So yeah, I'm coming into the side here, and you see it's not quite, whoops, not quite happy with some of that, some of those shapes in there. So I might go back to my the good old draw brush with clay turned on and kind of fill in some of these areas and shift smooth back out. So if we need to make it look like one root, one of these branches kind of flows into the other branch. I'll accentuate that back here, and I think I could also soften it up a bit. There we go. And then I can always carve things back in if I need to with the crease brush. So I could carve back in here and maybe create some separation in between. And then do the opposite, hold Alt down. And you see it's like creating a little detail for me now that maybe is actually needed, right? And turn a wireframe off of it so you can really get an idea for what this looks like. So yeah, that's a good start for the mycelium. I think I'm going to do another few minutes here. I'm enjoying the process, so I'm going to see if there's a few other quick little fatty branches I could take here, maybe giving it a little more, turn wireframe back on, a little more directionality, have a little more variety, which directions it's going. So it needs maybe some over here, maybe some more coming off this part right there. Smooth it back down there and go back to the regular draw brush. I hit it a few times. That's the one that likes to pop in a few more triangles. And then I can always also go back to inflate, see. That one's a little jankier than the others, but each pull is you'll discover a little different um, functionality with this. Now this piece here, I can like flip it around and rotate it other directions and reconnect it to some of the other mycelium pieces I'm going to make. So I'm kind of keeping that in mind as I go here. Hold on, control. Come on. Let's see, where did my... Whoa. Looks like it was catching up on something there. All right, so I think that's good enough for now. So if you also can play around, of course, with the materials in here if you want to see what it looks like. It's like an iridescent drink, as they call that one. It's pretty cool. And we're going to drop it in and give it like a glow map, some luminescence and subsurface scattering in Unreal Engine. All right, so we'll see you in the next one. this will be our first piece for the Great Mycelium that's going to be under the ground for our main character at the start of the story and the game.